welcome back to the Six Side Culture Podcast. Here I'll be joined once again by Danny and Francesca. What's going on, boys? You good?
Hey, guys.
Yep. What's up, lads?
What's up, Dan? Yeah, we had another week in the Serie A that passed by here. Pretty entertaining one, to be honest. Most of the top teams won except for Atalanta. They fell to Lazio 3-1. We'll get into that one specifically in a bit. That was match day 20 that now passed us. Obviously, a few teams have a game in hand. I believe it's just Juve and Napoli that have one? Pretty sure.
Yeah, just Juve and Napoli have a game in hand.
Yeah, I know Atalanta played their game in hand. I think it was against Udinese, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
It was a midweek game.
Yeah.
They played.
So now we just have Napoli and Juve who are one game behind, and I'm pretty sure they play not next week but the week after, if I'm correct.
Well, that's the second game we were supposed to play. The game we were supposed to play in Torino hasn't been made up yet.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Do they have a date for that one? Do you know about that?
They're planning. They might, as of right now, since the schedule is busy, they might plan that one for maybe the end of the year. I was hearing maybe the match day 38, but put that as a continuation match. Say do a match day 39, but just with that match.
Perfect. Yeah, like always, we have the 10 games for the match day. And I guess we'll start off here with the first match that took place. It was on the Friday, Torino-Fiorentina. That ended in a 1-1 draw. I had a chance to watch that one. Did you guys get to see Castrovilli's red card? Or?
No, I actually didn't. I didn't see Castrovilli's red card, but when I woke up and I saw it, I'm like, oh shit. I needed him to play against Inter, but what can you do?
I'm kind of not disappointed, but obviously Castrovilli, when the year started, he was more hyped up by people. He's still playing well. He's not he's playing bad. But I feel like his hype kind of died down. I feel like Barella took all of his spotlight as of late. But he's still a player I'm looking out for. And do you guys think Castrovilli will get called up to the national team?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think he's just a good player. I think he could get called up, but it's gonna be hard for him, especially if the likes of say Zaniolo gets called up, Jorginho, Verratti, if they decide to go with him. Barriello's gonna probably be there. I just think if Verratti isn't there, I think they can call up someone like a Castrovilli or even a Locatelli as well. I generally believe Castrovilli is one of the most underrated midfielders in Italy. He's such a good player. Too bad he's on a team like Fiorentina who aren't living up to their par. And I think he can be a good midfielder, a better midfielder than he is now if he gets a move away from Fiorentina. But for Euros, it's going to be tough, but I think it all depends on the Verratti situation. If Verratti is not healthy or if he's not playing up to what Mancini wants him to, I don't see him getting called up for Euros, and I can see him being replaced with the likes of Castrovilli.
Yeah, I agree with Dan here. I think Italy's midfield, this is a good problem to have, but Italy have a really deep midfield, so I think it's unfortunate for players like Castrovilli, who's such a good midfielder, and I think he just misses out on the call-up for the Euros. I would personally like to see him called up. I think he's better than some of the players that we're calling up, but at the end of the day, it's up to Mancini and see how he wants to fit his system and how Castrovilli fits in there. But I definitely think he'll be sitting at home.
Yeah, like you guys both said, and French as well, when he said it's a good problem to have, it really is a good problem to have. And I feel like the only way Castrovilli can really slip in there and find a spot is if Mancini calls up Pellegrini with the intention of him playing on the wing, like he did against the Netherlands when he got his goal. And for Roma, for us, he's been playing on the wing. Well, not really on the wing, but on paper it's on the wing, but not really moves in and out. But yeah, I think that would be his only way of getting in there if Mancini just really wants to put Pellegrini on the wing, because on the wing we actually don't have that much depth, really. Like, we have a lot of players, but no one really stands out.
Well, there's Elsha now.
Now there's Elsha, if he can find some the form he had when he was at Roma. Chiesa is up and down. Bernardeschi, we know Bernardeschi. Insigne is a lock, basically.
Yeah, but Bernardeschi plays good for the national team, so who knows?
Yeah. Usually against the smaller teams he plays well. When you see him against the bigger teams in the national team, doesn't really do much. But
yeah.
It's all up to Mancini's preference. He was at the Roma game, so you can see he's already starting to scout who he wants to call up. He was at Roma-Verona watching, so, yeah. But, yeah, I just want to start off with that one because kind of curious to see what everyone's thinking about Castrovilli now we're at the mid-season mark. I know early on everyone really rated him highly. But, yeah, back to Torino-Fiorentina. It was an alright game. I feel like both sides are falling a victim to having some decent players but not really performing, especially Fiorentina. Fiorentina, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure they had a shot on target the whole game, just one. And with the players you have, obviously not world class, but they have some good players. Maybe Ribery you might consider class. He could be on his day.
Yeah.
And to get one shot on target against Torino, who's at the bottom of the table, is embarrassing. Torino as well, they don't have a bad team if you look at their lineup, and their team's alright.
On paper, they have a really good team. Like, when you see their team, you're like, okay,
a decent side.
Yeah, you wouldn't think they'd be as low as they are, but they are. And to have someone like Simone Verdi, who obviously, Dan, I know at Napoli didn't pan out, but he's a player who does have some quality. And if he isn't even starting, then your team's clearly decent. Like, you're not bad. Like, a player like Simone Verdi to be like coming off the bench, you have a decent team. So for teams
they even got like Ricardo Rodriguez, he's a decent player as well.
I forgot about him. Yeah, even Baselli.
Baselli, yeah. Like,
they're
just
good players.
They're just a weird side to look at. Like the way they play too. It's not even like they don't even play attractive football. Like it looks like they just go out there, play 90 minutes of whatever they want, and hope for the best sometimes.
Yeah.
And all honesty, I think if it wasn't for Belotti and him being a workhorse, being a great player for them, I think they would have been relegated last season, or even like the way they play. Like there's a lot of times where Belotti's that one guy, he steps in, he makes gets a key goal for them, brings them back into the match, gets them the goal that they like. Say they can be 0-0, 60th minute, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden Belotti steps in and he gets a goal, and they're just a side like. Who knows if they're going to stay up? As of right now, I think they're 3 or 4 points above relegation.
I'm not too sure.
Or no, tied.
You're probably the tie.
They're currently tied. Yeah, tied for 15th with Cagliari in the relegation.
That's brutal. That's brutal. 9 losses. Wow, I'm looking at it right now. Doing worse than I thought. Yeah, that's horrendous. And quickly, do you guys have any more comments on that match or no? Because that's something I want to bring up.
No, I think you covered it well.
Yeah. So one thing I want to bring up is Belotti has 10 goals and 5 assists in 19 matches in the Serie A. That is incredible. That's incredible.
And that's a striker too.
Yeah, and he's not really getting any service, and to have 5 assists as well, that's incredible. And I feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves, because when he was younger, I think he was like 23, 22, like around that age, everyone's like, oh, Belotti, he's the next big thing for Italy. And it kind of died out, but it's not really his fault. Look who's around him. I think if you put Belotti on, maybe I'm being biased, a team like Roma, maybe even a Napoli, maybe...
for example, yeah. Like before Osimhen, yeah.
Yeah, just a team like that. If you put him on a team like that with the players around him, this guy's gonna be getting 20 goals easy, no problem.
I agree.
No problem at all.
He still get the scary part is you can say he's still getting I'll take away the penalties because usually players score from the penalty spot. Yeah, unless you really mess up, but he still gets 15 goals just from open play on Torino, which is incredible. It's not like he's getting 5 goals, but 10 of them are penalties. This guy's getting 15 goals, adding with the penalties as well. And he's averaging 20, 25 goals a season on Torino, who we all know don't have the quality of players such as a team like Inter, Milan, Juve, Roma, Atalanta, these top 6, top 7 sides. So for Belotti to get these goals out of nowhere and basically providing himself half the time, it's incredible to see.
Yeah, and I kind of a comparison. I see Belotti as kind of like a Mandzukic in a way, who he's really strong, he's gritty, he's in the box, he's putting whatever's in the box in, he doesn't miss too much. Obviously, he does what every striker does, but yeah, he's pretty good finishing. he runs up and down, and he plays defense. Like, you see Belotti sometimes beside the center back, sprinting all the way back.
Yeah, he does what he needs to do for the team. He gives his all for the team, and I think that's what costs him. I think he just doesn't want to leave Torino because he cares for the fans there, and I think that's what's gonna, like, at the end of the day, cost him his career, his legacy. I think he should have left like 2 seasons ago.
I think if they get relegated, he's leaving in the summer. I put my money on that. If they get relegated,
he's gone for sure. He's gone,
but the problem is they're not getting relegated because Belotti saves them every year, and then every year he doesn't want to leave a struggling team, and it just gets worse for his career. I think Belotti needs to take action. And
there's only so much. There's only so much Belotti can do to save Torino. It's going to be interesting to see what he does down the line, because now this is the time that they need. They don't even need Belotti to step up. They need the whole team to step up if they want to stay in the Serie A.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it right now. How is Cagliari and Parma down there too? That's surprising on its own. Like, this table's kind of trippy. Like, I didn't expect any of this, but
they just got your favorite player, Cagliari. So who knows where they're going to be? Maybe they're
Rugani. Cagliari just confirmed the relegation. So I hope they have fun in Serie B next year. But Daniele Rugani, can't.
They also have the Serie A MVP, Guaduo Asamoah.
Yeah, Francesca. Yeah, if you guys are an OG listener, this guy said that Asamoah would be the Serie A MVP. I don't know, what was it, last season?
Last season, yeah.
I think it was last season.
And the guy was a free agent half the year.
The guy went from a 6-side MVP candidate in Francesco to a free agent to play for Cagliari.
Alongside Daniele Rugani. What a man.
Yeah, what a backbone that's going to be. Oh, my.
I don't even think he'll be the Cagliari MVP. Forget the league MVP. But
Cagliari.
Yeah, for real. I think we rambled on for that match quite a bit, but we'll move on. But that match, not much really went on. Both teams are really disappointing this year. Now moving on here to Milan-Bologna. Milan, they keep finding ways to win. Ibra missed a pen, which doesn't happen too often. Actually, lately it has been, but Ibra, I still can't get over the Ibra-Lukaku confrontation. It's still in my mind. That was incredible to see. I didn't expect that at all, but we're not going to repeat what they were saying to each other, but I'm sure you guys, if you want to find it, it won't be too hard to find it online. But Dan, what did you think about this match, Milan-Bologna?
Yeah, it was. You know what though? I give Bologna credit. They bowed Milan all the way to the end. Once again, Milan somehow find a way to get a penalty. It seems like every game they get a penalty, but that's not gonna change anything. They're still in first place. They get the winning mentality, and it shows that Ibra too. Like, even though he didn't do much this match, just the impact of him being there. They find ways to win even when they don't play up to their best. Kessie finds ways to score his penalties, get penalties. But I kind of like the way Pioli's proving us wrong, and how we said that he was going to be fired in January, November, like at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I said November he'd be gone. Still first place.
They're still first place.
You guys laughed at me. I said I liked Pioli.
I still don't like him though. Yeah.
I just thought he was like the guy for Milan at the beginning of the season, but he's proving us wrong. Milan's still in first place. Bologna, they gotta start finding a way to win soon because they're only 5 points up of the relegation, so not too much room there. They gotta find ways to win a few matches coming up. Just overall, Milan continue to win, continue to stay in first place. Moving slowly away from the competition, but I think they're tied now, right, on points with Inter.
Milan?
Or they?
I believe they're up by 2. They have 2 points.
I believe Milan's like ahead in first.
Yeah, 2 points ahead, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So if Milan continue like this, they're going to be Scudetto winners. So let's see if they can continue the momentum moving forward.
Yeah. Like Dan said, Bologna put up a fight. I was watching this game. I was very agitated during the game. Really wanted Bologna to get that tie at least. Obviously, I wasn't going to say Bologna was going to win this game. Obviously, anything's possible, but I was really hopeful for Bologna to claim a draw, get that point with Milan. It would have been huge for us. Unfortunately, they just couldn't. They played a really good fight though. Milan got like 2 penalties, and I think I saw a stat somewhere that Milan had the most penalties like awarded to them in Serie A. And
Yeah, they
so when
do.
the Milanisti complain that Juve pay every game and we get the penalties, just look at the stats before you speak. But nonetheless, Milan deserved this win. Obviously, it was a very scrappy game, but Milan, it shows the players Milan have out quality the players Bologna had. And at the end of the day, that's what wins you the games.
Yeah, well said by both of you. I don't really have much else to add to that, but yeah, another win for Milan, and obviously, like Dan mentioned, he brought it up, and Franchet, like you said as well, the penalties seems to be a reoccurring thing in Milan matches. So
Yeah.
some of them are questionable. I saw a compilation of all the ones that were awarded this year, and some of them were very questionable. So
Yeah, it's just like a lot of calls too. Even like for other teams too, when they get penalties, a lot of these calls nowadays are just questionable calls, and they still have the technology to overturn them and make sure they make the right calls. But
I
it
know.
seems like no one knows how to use VAR nowadays. And we keep seeing it in leagues like the Premier League that there's blown calls, Serie A blown calls. It's just I don't get how you can have the technology and still get things wrong. That's just mind-boggling. It's just crazy to think that with the technology, you can still get stuff wrong.
yeah, well said. Moving on from that match, but yeah, big win for Milan. Franchet, go ahead,
I
buddy.
already know what you're gonna say. Okay.
Go ahead.
We're gonna start off before I make the Inter fans cry. We're gonna start off with Juventus Sampdoria first. I wasn't at all a fan of this game. It was a very scrappy win. The scoreline is very misleading. We won 2-0. Ramsey scored at the 95th minute. Obviously, Chiesa scored a nice goal in the 20th minute. After that, I thought we were on rampage to score a couple, like maybe 2-3 goals after that, and Sampdoria just kept holding us down. We couldn't really do much. For the most part, we were outpossessing them. We were making plays. We were just trying to break them down. We just couldn't for some reason. And I thought it was going to be one of those games where Sampdoria were going to score a scrappy goal, and we would have lost points. But thank God we pulled through. We kept our composure, and we ended up winning the game. It's a game we needed. Obviously, since we're not in first, we need to win every game until we get to that first place spot. And this is just another game in the way. And now, the month of February, I'm going to talk about Inter later, but in the month of February, we have a lot of big games ahead and a lot of big results. And if we survive this month, then I think we're smooth sailing from here. But for now, it was a nice scrappy win against Sampdoria, and I think certain players need to be rested after these big matches happen, and certain players need to be out the door. Certain players need to be starting more, because you could see when certain players play and when certain players don't play, who gives their all to the team and who's very lazy and gives a lot of stupid mistakes up.
Yeah, Juve, it's obviously not been the best of seasons for them. It's been scrappier than usual. You don't really see them controlling the game as much, but as of late, they've been getting the results. I think ever since that Milan game, they turned it around. Obviously, they had the loss to Inter, but it happens. It's just a good team, man. You're going to lose games. You're not going to win them all, but yeah, Juve's been looking better as of late. And next week they play us, Roma, on Saturday, so that'll be one everyone I'm sure is looking forward to. Big game for both teams. Juve probably still pushing for the Scudetto, obviously, and Roma aiming for top 4, so it's always a good one when two teams are fighting for something. But
it always seems Juve and Roma get to play. It's always the last game of the season where both teams aren't fighting for anything anymore. So now for this season, it's always good to see that both teams are actually fighting and we're actually going to try.
Yeah, it's always at the end of the year when our Primavera gets to make their debut, and both teams pass around the back the whole game, and nothing really happens. 0 shots on target each. So yeah, it's good to see an actual game that means something. The last time I saw Juve Roma in an important game mid-season was Patrick Schick missing a breakaway at the 90th minute. I almost broke my TV. So hopefully Mayoral doesn't do what Patrick Schick did. But yeah, moving on from that, we also had a Inter-Benevento. I was looking at the Milan stats because, Leao was impressing me this year. But yeah, moving on, Inter-Benevento. They killed Benevento. To be honest, I didn't expect it. I know if you look on paper, Inter's a much better team. You expect them to beat Benevento. I
Yeah,
had a feeling they would draw because I think
I did
Benevento's
too.
a solid team. They're very tricky, and Inter seems to, much like Juve, I think Juve would do the same thing. They play down to their opponent's level at
oh,
times.
we do that too. Oh, we do that too a lot.
So,
Napoli.
yeah, like I think Inter did to Samp this year. For sure they won that game, but it was really,
It
really
was
ugly to
great.
watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, they've been doing it a few times, and I thought that would be another thing to happen. Maybe they'd still win, but it wouldn't look as pretty. But they proved me wrong. They look good. Lukaku, once again, the difference maker. We all chose him as our 2020 MVP, best player. So he's proving why he's the most valuable player to Inter. He wasn't there against Juve in the Coppa, which we'll get into later, like Francesca said, but he wasn't there and they lost. And when Lukaku's not there, Inter is not the same team.
They're not.
He he's so good, Lukaku, and I can't believe United fans when he was first coming to Inter, they're all commenting, "Oh, good luck with him, good luck with him." This guy's one of the
I
best
was,
strikers in Europe.
yeah, I was one of them I was doubting Lukaku when he first came, but he's been proving me wrong. He looks like he's the Lukaku that he was at Everton. He's just a difference maker. He's getting goals, providing hold up play. Like he's a beast. That's all you can say about him. I know I can't stand Inter, but I gotta give them credit. They nailed this one when they signed Lukaku. They got what they were expecting. And for me, he's easily the best striker in Serie A. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about that
Yeah,
when he plays. I think he's the best striker in Serie A.
yeah, of course, and also one thing that I think we can all agree Inter's been lacking or struggling with is on the defensive end. And as of late, they've been looking better. Skriniar seems to be coming back to the old Skriniar, at least close to it. Bastoni is incredible. I know, Danny, you love Bastoni as a player. He's
Yeah,
a great player.
I think
Uh,
I think he's probably Inter's best defender at times. Like
yeah,
him and Skriniar could back and forth for Inter's best defender.
yeah, he's incredible and only 21 years of age, so that's incredible to see. And I'm excited to see him in the Euros this summer. He'll get called up for sure. He won't
Oh, easily.
probably be playing, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see him a little bit in the Euros at least. But yeah, happy to see him doing well. But Chad, anything else you want to add to Inter Benevento?
Yeah, Benevento pissed me off before the game.
There we go.
Against every big team, Benevento play like they're prime Milan, prime Barcelona here. And against Inter, they just lay down on the grass. They were picking dandelions, and they let Inter walk all over them. Those witches that they call in Benevento. Juve will get their revenge on them. I hope they learn their lesson because they made a mistake. And I hope people Inzaghi, I hope he suffers after this game. I actually hope. Obviously, he was a Milan legend. I hope he was really suffering after losing to Inter. Obviously, for him, he doesn't want to lose to Inter, and to lose that much by his arch rivals, it made me smile a bit knowing after they laid down for Inter that at least people Inzaghi would be suffering. But
Yeah.
credits for Inter. They deserve the win, 100%. They showed that they're in the title race for now, and when they start slipping soon, just like Milan will soon, this game was going to be holding on to a thread. I think this game is going to be very important, very decisive for them.
Yeah. And I'm just going to recap a couple other games that took place, just quickly put them all together. Spezia-Udinese came away with a 1-0 win. I thought Spezia would manage to come back near the end, but Saponara got a second yellow and got taken out, so that kind of deaded any chance they had left of tying it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was unfortunate. And we also had the game I really enjoyed watching, Cagliari-Sassuolo, probably one of my favorite games I watched this weekend. I really enjoyed it. Right at the end, one of the players I rate really highly, Jeremy Boga, O'Day plays a big cross into the back post. Boga finds the ball, hits it in, and ties it
Yeah, that
up.
was nice. That was really nice.
So yeah, that was a beautiful 94th minute there for Jeremy Boga.
Yeah.
Happy to see him do well. And another match that happened in Crotone and Genoa. Mattia Destro. This guy was
Well, he's
one
in
of my.
form.
Yeah, he's going off. I think he has 9 goals in
I think
the last
8
2 months or
goals.
something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
8
it's the
goals in the
Quags
last
form right now.
He's
Something
8 goals in
crazy.
something. Yeah, I think I want. You know what? Before I say the stat, I want to double check it. But he's been on fire. Like, holy cow, this guy.
Yeah, Destro's been incredible, and wow, just, no one expected this from Destro, especially me. When he was at Roma, he's Roman born, so obviously, when he was young, he was a striker, he was scoring goals, he had a lot of potential. He was one of my favorite players. At that, he would be, not the next Totti, obviously, but he would be one of the cornerstones of Rome, because we always seem to have at least one Roman on the team that's kind of carrying the torch and leading the way. We had Totti, we had De Rossi, we had Florenzi, we had Pellegrini now, who seems to be taking that role over. We always have at least one Roman, which I think makes Roma really special. And Destro seemed to be that one that was coming up, along with Florenzi, and it didn't pan out. He was a nightmare. He had a little stint at Milan where he was terrible. He's been passed around everywhere, but this season seems to be finding his form. Towards the end of last year, it wasn't bad as well. He was alright. And this year is really going off, so.
Yeah, he's got 8 goals in the last 9 games.
Wow, that's incredible. Is this sustainable? I don't think so.
No,
maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't think he will, but I'm still happy to see another Roman doing well, and they won 3-0 against Crotone, so credit to Genoa. And not just Destro, Genoa as a whole seems to be competing a little better, yeah. Even against Juve in the Coppa, they lost, but they played really well. Franceschi can agree. They took Juve to extra time, and they were defending well. Rovella, that game was amazing. And, yeah, it seems to be turning the tides for Genoa lately.
If Destro can keep this form up, which might not happen, but who knows? Even if he gets like a good enough form, say he finishes the season with 15, 16 goals.
I know where it's going.
Don't be surprised if he plays well, he gets called up for Euros.
Hey.
Don't be surprised. Because Caputo, everyone talks, even me, I'm a big fan of Caputo. They talk like he's set in stone for their third striker.
Yeah, Caputo's
not necessary.
Striker. He doesn't deserve it after the season he's having. He's nothing special.
He's having a poor season.
If I see Destro get the game winner in the Euros off the bench, I don't know what I'll do.
Don't be surprised if Destro gets called up, because as of right now, he's the second as an Italian. I think he's got besides Insigne. Yeah, he's tied with Insigne. Third most goals by an Italian in Serie A.
Yeah, so we got Belotti with 10.
Immobile with 13.
Immobile with 13. We got Insigne then Destro, yeah.
Don't be surprised if
he's doing good for PSG. So
I think he went back to Everton. He went back to Everton, so we'll see how he does there.
If he does what he did last year, I won't be seeing him at the Euros.
Well, maybe on the 21s he might go to. That one they were saying that they might put him in the under 21s if they have to.
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest Moise Keane fan, you guys know, but. You know, I could probably score 30 goals against the French farmers there, so. No, but that's kind of harsh. I don't really like the whole Farmers League. I think people always say, oh, you're a Farmers League. They're all good leagues, but it's all preference, what you enjoy watching more, and obviously we're Serie A fans. But, yeah, those are the games I want to really recap really quickly because we don't really have time to get into depth and big detail on all of them. I guess, Dan, I'll toss it to you. Napoli-Parma. Napoli came away with a 2-0 victory. Quickly, I just want to say, Elmas, I really liked him that game. I'm sure you'll get more detail. My dad, who, he just randomly, will bring up a player when we're eating lunch or dinner and be like, oh, this guy's really good. And Elmas is the player he brought up on the weekend, so he was impressed by him. But yeah, take it away.
Yes. It wasn't for me. I wasn't really impressed with the way we played the match. It was just kind of like a sloppy match we played. Luckily, Parma, they couldn't finish, or else it could have been a different story. The Napoli, they weren't the best, but it took a moment of magic from Elmas, who I really think he's playing really good under the three-man midfield when we play the 4-3-3. I don't like him when he plays as a cam, like a left mid. I just don't think he's got that same effect. But this game, he was pretty good. I like the way he played. He got that beautiful goal. Some could say it was great movement by him, great dribbling by him, or just sloppy defense by Parma. It was a mix of both, but he got the opening goal for Napoli. And then in the 90th minute, Politano came off the bench, got the goal to make it 2-0, seal the deal. I just didn't like the way Napoli played this match. We have to be a little bit better when we're playing against teams like this. But at the end of the day, the 3 points is all that matters. For me, I think the best player on the pitch was Di Lorenzo. He was absolutely really good this game. A sign of his old self this game. And I feel like Napoli, they need to just start winning. Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't really care how we play as long as we get the W. That's all that matters. And it was good to see after all these rumors about Gattuso getting sacked, Benitez coming in, that when Politano scored, all the players went up to Gattuso and hugged him after. That's what I like to see. I know last year they did that too. Then Ancelotti was sacked after, but I feel like the players like Gattuso. They want to play for him. And if you change your manager now, it's just going to get even worse. And I say you give Gattuso until the end of the season, and if something happens, if Napoli say make it top four, win the Coppa, win Europa League, or heck, if they even finish top three, I say you keep them. But if you see the team starts getting worse, nothing happens, we finish sixth, no trophies this year, then you can say, okay, it's time to move on. But I want to give Gattuso till the end of the season and see how the team performs. If they're winning games, don't fix what's broken. And I feel like that's what Napoli should start thinking about. Just finish the season and let's see what they can do. Hopefully today, as of right now, we're recording this podcast, Napoli playing Atalanta in the semifinals. So hopefully we can start off the semifinals with the first leg with a good result and just take it from there. Keep on winning, and that's when the fans are happy, and then that's when the team plays at their best.
Yeah, well said. I think I'm gonna be a Napoli fan for the day, Dan. I'd rather see Napoli in a Coppa Italia final matchup rather than Atalanta. So I prefer if Napoli win, but I agree with you, Dan. With Gattuso, if you're winning games, no need to sack him. He's getting the results, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and just to clarify, we're recording this Wednesday, February 3rd at 1:44 p.m. as of right now, Eastern Time, so we won't be talking about Napoli-Atalanta. The game didn't happen yet. Juve Inter, Francia will briefly go over it towards the end of the podcast. But next up here, a match I didn't think would come out as a good result for Roma. I thought we would struggle a lot more than we did going into it. Verona is a team that lost one game to any team in the top 8, which was to Inter, and it was barely, they played well. They tied Juve, they beat Napoli, they beat Atalanta, they beat Lazio, they tied Milan. Yeah, so they beat us technically the first time. We all know what happened. So going into this match, we're not going to win, and this might be the end of Fonseca because in Rome, if you tie or lose a game, you're out. So that's how it works apparently. But just to recap the game quick, I was really happy with everyone's performance. Gianluca Mancini, I tweeted about it on my personal Twitter. He's been turning into one of the leaders of this team. I think he has been for a long time now. He's starting to really show right now with Smalling always being out and injured. We've needed someone else to really command the back line, and I think that's been Mancini. He's done a really good job. He's been scoring a lot lately for a center back, which is kind of funny. But I'm happy to see Mancho growing as one of the leaders of this team, which we really need right now. Mkhitaryan, another goal. It was a beauty. Mayoral ran past the keeper, and to me that showed a lot of patience and maturity to not just blast the ball over the net off balance. Instead, got around the keeper, He waited for his options. He saw Mkhitaryan with a better angle on the net, played it to Mickey, and Mickey put it away, which was not an easy shot to score whatsoever. So happy to see Mickey continue to score. I think that's 9 goals and 8 assists now, which is incredible. And again, Mayoral, he scored. You can say it was a tap, and you can say what you want, but that's what we need right now. We get a lot of balls into the box, and Dzeko is never in the box. He's a player that likes to play out, and he holds up the play, Dzeko, and Mayoral can do that too, but he's more of someone who likes to play inside the box and score. So I think that's what we need, someone like an Icardi, and I think Mayoral is fitting that role right now, and in the time we need him, he's been stepping up, which past strikers off the bench for us haven't done, like Kalinic and Sheik, we won't even get into, and Defrel and Doumbia, and I can go on for 20 years here, but Mayoral is impressing me. He's only 23 years of age, which I think people forget sometimes, and he has 9 goals and 6 assists in all competitions, which I think is incredible.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Especially because he's been off the bench and starting in smaller games. Yeah.
And he also has one of the best minutes to goal ratios in Europe. So I'm extremely impressed with Mayoral. He's been great. And I like what he said when he first came to Roma in his interview. He said, I didn't come here to be a backup striker. I came here to be a starting striker. And me and Dzeko, I respect him, but we're going to have a healthy competition. And he's been showing that. He didn't come here to sit on the bench and come in for a couple of minutes. He wants to be an important part of the team. Yeah. And that's what you need. You need someone who wants to play, and when he plays, he shows that his quality. So I have so much respect and admiration for Mayoral and what he's done for his club since he's come. And the good thing is, I think he's 15 million if we, because we have a 2-year loan for him. So if we activate it this summer, I think it's 15 mil. I think next summer it's like 20 maybe. Something like that, but that's very cheap for a guy who's putting up these numbers right now.
Yeah.
You can spend 50 million on the striker, like we saw Sheik, 42 million. The guy did nothing. So I think it's a bargain. And you could say what you want, oh, he wasn't that good in La Liga, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sorry, if you're on a Champions League winning team, I don't care if you're on the bench or not, you have some kind of quality about you. And to be around champions for as long as he has at a young age, it's going to rub off on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can really see that in him, and he wants to win. So I'm really happy with Mayoral, and I hope we continue to start him, because now that Dzeko and Fonseca patched everything up, I don't want to see Mayoral thrown to the side again. When someone's on a run like this, you got to keep him going, just keep putting him in, and let him grow, because I think that's how you got to treat a player like this. Because if you say, in his head, let's say you get 9 goals, 6 assists, right, and then you're like, okay, go back to the bench. What's that going to do for him?
We saw that happen with Divock Origi at Liverpool. He did so well in the Champions League campaign when Liverpool won, and he just got sent back to the bench when Firmino came back. And you just see what it does to the player. It just demoralizes them.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like, oh, what else do I have to do? You want me to score a hat-trick every game, and then maybe I'll play a little bit? Like, nah. Against Juve this weekend, I love Dzeko. I think his experience would help us a lot. But I just think Mayoral needs to keep playing, and I want to see him against Juve. I think it'll be a good test for him. And I think he needs to keep playing. I don't care who we play. He needs to keep playing. And put Dzeko in those Europa League games at this point. Like, maybe try them playing together. It's kind of risky. I wouldn't want to see it against Juve. Play what we've been doing lately. We've been playing well. With Pellegrini out, it could be tough. But I think El Shaarawy was slot right in for Pellegrini, who's been playing as a winger. So I don't think we lose too much quality there. Will El Shaarawy play? I'm not sure. He just came back. Yeah, for Shaw, obviously, hopefully not. For me, it'll be either El Shaarawy or Pedro filling in for Pellegrini. So one of the two will be in. Maybe El Shaarawy off the bench. We'll see. But yeah, overall happy with the win against Verona. I was surprised. I didn't expect it to be as easy as it seemed. Second half, obviously, we got battered a bit towards the end, but we held on. Oh, and also last thing, Roger Ibanez. Besides from that Lazio game, this guy's been immense for us. He's been incredible, and the Verona game was probably one of his best. He was
he was really special that game.
He was really strong this game. I like the way he played.
Winning everything. Yeah, he was incredible. And I'm happy he's back to his old ways against, Lazio's really his only bad game he had. The other ones, been alright, but today's really stepped up. When Smalling came out, he knew, he had to take control of the back line along with Mancini and Kumbula, who's very young Kumbula, and he played well as well, so I'm just happy to see his young backline really growing and hopefully continues. But moving on now from Roma-Verona, we got one more game left, the Lazio-Atalanta. So Atalanta, yeah, I wanted a draw. Danny, you probably agree with me. They're both near us in the standings for chat. I don't know if you care about Atalanta or Lazio.
Both teams mean nothing to me. They're not in contention for the Scudetto, so whatever happened, it was just a good game to watch.
Yeah, I had a feeling for Chet wouldn't really care about this one. But, I don't know. If you're an Atalanta fan, it's annoying because basically every top team won except you this week, so it's going to hurt you in the standings. Also, they choked the game to Udinese, the game in hand, which is going to hurt you as well. That's really all they had going for them.
So, at the end of the day, if I was an Atalanta fan, yeah, this loss is going to sting to the fans, but they beat Lazio when it mattered. Realistically, Atalanta have a better chance at winning the Coppa Italia than they do having to win the Scudetto.
That's true.
They beat Lazio in the Coppa Italia. That's the game that mattered to them the most. If I was a Lazio fan, Lazio's not winning anything this season.
Or ever.
Their biggest hopes was that Coppa Italia, and they lost to Atalanta. So if I was an Atalanta fan, I'd say screw you to the Lazio fans. You know, we beat you out of the cup game.
Yeah, it's a fair point. But obviously, if they get eliminated by Napoli, it's gonna kind of be useless. But
yeah, obviously.
But it's always disappointing for Atalanta to see them play so well and then struggle so much. It's so up and down. But they're still a great team, and they're far, far, far from out of the Champions League contention. Only 3 points out. That's nothing. So, Lazio, big win for them. Atalanta's never an easy team to beat, and it was a win they needed. Muriqi, who I think's garbage, but Lazio fans on Twitter, when he came in, they were criticizing him, saying, "Oh, it's garbage," like they always do. They complain about their whole team, and then he scored, and they seem to love him again. So I don't know if that fan base. I was gonna say something, but I'd rather not say it. About the signing. I was gonna bring up them bringing in someone's son to their youth team, but I'm not gonna bring it up. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. But
and for the people who don't, just
sorry, not the son. This is his great grandson.
Great grandson, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bring it up.
Valerie though.
Yeah, everyone knows what I'm talking about if you follow Twitter and are on that spectrum. But yeah, do you guys have anything to say about this one, or we all good here?
I want to say something. I'm gonna say something. I just saw the Napoli lineup that just came out for the Coppa Italia. My God, did I just lose confidence right now?
Let me see. I'm taking a look right now.
It's a free. It looks like a 3-4-3, but it could also be a 5-2-3.
Mario Rui. Oh God.
No, he's not playing. Rui's not playing.
No, I was looking at the old lineup you guys had from what game was it? The one you put in the weekend against Parma.
It's Maximovic, Manolas, Koulibaly, Husay on the left, Deme, Bakayoko, Di Lorenzo on the right, Politano, Insigne, Lozano up top.
Oh, Meret's in that too. Oh no. Oh no, Meret's on the bench. I read that.
Yeah, it's Ospina. Ospina gets these games. But you know what? If the formation works out, Gattuso looks like a genius. If it doesn't, oh no. I don't want to go on Twitter. Not to lose. Oh. Hopefully they can win.
Yeah, we got Danny's game jitters coming out now. But yeah, the game starts soon, so I'm sure Danny's excited to watch that one. I am too, honestly. It's gonna be a good game.
Me and Miracle win today.
Before we wrap up, I just want to, Inter-Juve, they played yesterday, as we're recording, like I said, and Juve came away with 2-1 win, 2 big away goals, and just massive for Juve to come back to is it called Allianz Stadium?
Yeah, Allianz Stadium.
I think the arena's the Bayern one. Allianz Arena's for Bayern.
Arena's Bayern.
Yeah. Sometimes we get those two mixed up, but yeah, stadiums for Juve. And, they're gonna go back there, and we'll see if Inter can claw back. Obviously, if Inter wins this 1-0, Juve will go through, so Inter's gonna need 2 goals, and they can't concede. It's gonna be a tough one for Inter to crawl back from. that's why I always prefer to be away the first game, to be honest. But we'll see. Inter, they've proven they can beat Juve, but to win 2-0 might be tough. And Juve's been resilient. They saw against Barca earlier in the year. They showed the resilience and they came away with 3-0 win when not many thought they could. And yeah, we'll see. But Francesca, any thoughts before we wrap up?
I just want to say before the game, I was very nervous. I didn't know what Pirlo was thinking with the lineup he put out. He put out a very average lineup in a game. I think we should have played the starters. Obviously when you're away from home, you have key players like Hakimi and Lukaku out due to suspension. I think that's a game you have to pounce on Inter and really get that win. I think we just it was a very scrappy win we got. Obviously Handanovic reminded me of Marc-Andre ter Stegen in that game. With his ball retention skills, played a wonderful ball, and that's what gave us the second goal. Actually, Young was tagging Cuadrado like he's a 3-year-old, tagging at his mother for some attention, and got us a penalty. So I think those mistakes really costed us Inter the game and really gave us the win. I'm happy with the win. It's a shame that Buffon had that blunder early on and had us concede, but what can you do? Players make mistakes, especially Buffon. He's 43 years old. I can't expect him to be prime Buffon every game. But overall, looking forward to the home game. Obviously, Lukaku's going to be back, so it's going to be a very tough game. Very, very tough. I think Inter are going to be clawing back, but Juve need to keep them in arm's distance. I just want to read some quotes out made by a certain individual on the Inter staff. We deserved way more than the final result. If I analyze the game, it was us who did everything. We made 2 horrible mistakes and get to them the goals. I don't remember Handanovic having to make a save. In case you didn't notice, it was Conte who said these statements. I just think I saw him at the game. Like, I saw him managing. I just don't know if he was actually watching the game, because if he was, he would have saw that we had a lot more shots than he's anticipating. And either way, Handanovic, he's like the B-Tech version of Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Just a tall keeper who everyone thinks is good, but is just overrated. But otherwise, Inter fans, start crying now. You guys all think you're going to come back in the second leg when you come to Torino, but newsflash, it's not going to happen. You're going to try. You're going to score against us probably, because Danilo is probably going to be playing that game. But at the end of the day, you'll be knocked out in the semi-finals and be rendered trophyless for another season.
Well, there's Francesca warning shots to Inter for next week.
Seems like every podcast he throws one.
Yeah, might as well make a segment for Francesca versus Inter fans.
You gotta let them know, put them in their place, you know, the Inter fans, the Milan fans. But just put them in, even the Napoli fans soon. But now we'll be facing the Coppa Italia final. If they make it that far.
Yeah, no, I'll say if we get there. Take it game by game.
For Chad, nice little recap there. Danny, good luck to Napoli against Atalanta coming up soon. I'm looking forward to watching that game. And yeah, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week as always. If you'd like to check out our social media, Instagram at @6sideCalcio, Facebook, Twitter at @6sideCalcio, everywhere. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Ciao ragazzi.
Ciao.
See you guys.